do you know how fucking great it is to live exactly how I want to live, to experience motherhood exactly how I wanted to experience it? And I know the next thing they say is like, well, that's not fair on your kids. Can I tell you something? That will be their story to tell. I can't tell you. I can only tell you that this is the best way that I know how to be a mother to them. And maybe they'll grow up and tell their story, and I will respect that.
Well, she also wanted audiences to know how liberating it is for her children not to have a father.
I love that I don't have to run every fucking thing by a guy.
And what are women communicating? We don't like men that much. This is the same girl that was bubbly and happy in her 20s. Women don't like men as much as we thought.
I love that I don't have to, well, oh my God, co-parent. I fucking love that I don't have to do any of that stuff. And my children, we joke, listen, I think you can tell, this is how I raise my kids.
Yeah.
Right? We don't hide this shit.
But don't worry, while Charlize doesn't think husband or father is important in life, she hasn't given up on men altogether.
I found this freedom in my 40s where I'm like, oh my God. So I just want to say this in perspective. I've probably had 3 one-night stands in my entire life.
Okay.
But I did just recently fuck a 26-year-old, and it was really fucking amazing.
Fuck yes.
Yes. And I've never done that. And I was like, oh, this is great. Okay.
Let me just say that 26-year-old is the luckiest fucking man walking on this goddamn planet. He's walking different today, knowing, oh my God.
He for sure is not, but thank you.
No, he is.
Yeah, so what women do, when they're younger, we have to put a higher price on sex because reputation is important to get the kid, right? So you can't just go around banging everything. And an interesting thing happens to women in their late 30s. They realize their reputation doesn't matter anymore because usually they have the kid. So then they go bang the guys they want and they lower the price of sex. And that's what's happening there. As far as living life on our own terms, I actually see no problem with miserable women living by themselves as long as they can pay for it. And if there is a father in the picture, as long as he gets 50-50 custody, I actually think it's way better for kids to grow up, if there's 50-50 custody, with a dad who's not being driven insane by a crazy woman. I really do. It's much worse, because the way I see it is men, they just tend to be good people. We tend to be bad people. Not all. So, but the thing is, men will do bad things in the name of their wives or a crazy woman in their ear. And so if they can just live peacefully 50-50 custody without the crazy woman in their ear, and at least the kids, they could see the dad's not a bad guy in person without the mom glaring at them and doing some crazy stuff. I don't have a problem with crazy women wanting to live out their crazy. I really don't.
Well, the episode's been viewed by nearly 1 million people so far. Reaction has been divided between those who celebrate Charlize as, quote, a powerful badass, epitome of a strong woman fighting against the evil patriarch.
Because remember, she's living the dream now. She's got the money. Remember, women want 2 things, freedom and to have sex with hot guys. Women do not care about commitment as much as we care about having sex with hot guys. That's our hardwiring. That's our biological imperative.
And others who, in equally strident language, view the whole episode as yet another example of modern feminist media denigrating the role of men at every given opportunity, all of which makes it a good starting point for a lively debate. Well, joining me for this battle of the sexes, host of the Crucible podcast, Andrew Wilson.
Woo! Go, Andrew!
Jedediah Byler, who's the host of the Jedediah Byler Show, commentator and author of The Case for Cancel Culture, Ernest Owens, and the editor of the User Mag newsletter, Taylor Lorenz. Well, welcome to all of you. And Jedediah, welcome to you especially because you're making your uncensored debut. We always like debutantes. I'm always astonished.
Thank you very much, Pierce.
Always astonished when people come back for more. But thank God they do. And thank God Andrew Wilson does. Andrew, your thoughts on Charlize Theron? She doesn't need a man. She likes banging 26-year-olds when she feels like it. You don't need fathers in life. You just need a strong, badass woman.
Well, it's really funny. The reason nobody cares really very much when a 40-year-old attractive woman has sex with some random young man is because it's not impressive. It's impressive when men can bang young women because most men can't bang young women, but most older women can bang young men. So it's just not an impressive accomplishment. Of course, these are the same women who will screech because, Leonardo DiCaprio decides that he wants to change, at 25 years old, any of the broads he has hanging around. But this is not an impressive accomplishment. All a woman needs to do to get laid is go somewhere where there's men and offer it up. It's not the case for men. So it's an unimpressive accomplishment on its face. As to the rest of what she's saying, this is just normal tripe, right? Her kids are the ones who are going to get punished. They're always the ones who get punished. We can look at the data for outcomes on children who are raised in single mother homes. It's not good. It's not good for their mental health. It's not. And by the way, the rates of abuse from having strange men around skyrocket. Terrible idea. And it's exactly the wrong kind of propaganda to be pushing.
All right, Taylor Lorenz,
I agree with that. I do. I can't imagine. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine the torture if you had no dad? I feel just tortured by your mother 24/7. The nag. Oh my gosh. That's why I think a lot of cases it's better for the parents to be separated in 50-50 because then at least the child can have peace 50% of the time. At least half the time it can be a peaceful existence.
just a factual reality of life that women are predominantly happier with a man by their side and children are predominantly better off in life with a present father.
Are better off in life when they have a loving household. And not all of those households have fathers. I mean, there are lesbian parents, there are, different types of arrangements. I think it's important for kids to have different figures in their life who they can look up to. I think it's really important to expose kids to all different types of figures, but that doesn't have to be, like a man, a cisgender man that's standing around all the time. There's plenty of terrible fathers out there too. So, I think it's great that
but not like mothers.
That the child is growing up in a loving household, and hopefully, she'll expose the child to lots of different types.
Yeah, but can you acknowledge that we have now been studying this phenomenon of single motherhood for years and years and years, and that the outcomes for children of single mothers tend to be terrible in comparison to the outcomes of children without them? Can you just acknowledge that that is true?
So I think what you're talking about are studies.
I'm asking a question. Don't run from the question. Yes or no? I want you to acknowledge with a yes or no, then a qualifier. Yes or no? Isn't it true that outcomes for children when they're raised by single mothers tend to be worse than those with a mother and a father in the house? Yes or no? Then give me your answer.
So I'd love to respond if you stop talking over me.
Go ahead.
Anyway, most single mothers are
look at his face, so funny.
Charlize Theron with millions and millions and millions of dollars. So when you look at studies like that, a lot of it has to do with the economic opportunities that a lot of single mothers have. Women make less than men as a whole. They're subject to more sexism and discrimination. So it can often be more challenging for them to raise a child alone.
So the answer is yes?
No, the answer is Charlize Theron.
It sounds like you just said that the answer is yes. The answer, according to you just now, is yes.
No, any single
and then you just
parent,
make excuses for it. You're like, yes,
Taylor, this is
because
not
women are
right now. This is so weird. You're like
the most manipulative smile when they're arguing with you. Imagine having to live with a chick like Andrew's talking to. I know the nagging would never end. And imagine if Andrew was the dad and Taylor Lorenz was the mom. Now Andrew would never make such a stupid choice. He picked an angel, Rachel Wilson. What a nice woman. But Taylor Lorenz, imagine, I think if these two were a couple, God forbid, there would be more peace in a 50-50 arrangement. You were like a misser. I don't know what that means, but thank you.
Shouting
Taylor,
at me.
can I jump in here, Pierce?
Do you know what it is?
Okay, let's bring, hang on, time out. Let's bring in Jedediah.
Taylor, this is not rocket science. First of all, you lost me at cis male. You just meet a guy, just a man, right? We don't need all these terms, these nonsensical, ridiculous terms that, modern leftists have come up with. It's just a man. Children do better when there is a mom and there is a dad. And the reason is that men and women are completely different. They bring very different things to the table. And children need the role model of a mom and a dad, not just people around. Sure, you can have aunts, you can have uncles, you can have friends, but we're talking about the two individuals that are raising children. And let me just ask you this question. Wait, I'm not done yet. You complained that Andrew interrupted you, and now you just interrupted me. I'm not done yet. Charlize Theron, you're right. She is rich. She has a ton of money. But what example do you think she's sending to young women everywhere that this is somehow empowering, that you should strive? By the way, you should strive to be the single mom because you don't have to deal with a guy. You don't have to answer to a man. Oh, isn't that so wonderful? And guess who'll pay the price? My kid. She even says, my kids can tell their story. How unbelievably selfish of her to say, my children will one day to get to tell a story that they had no father because I decided that I just wanted to do this myself. Me, myself, and my money. Is that the message?
I wanted to go hump 26-year-olds.
Lesbian. They shouldn't be able to raise children. You need a man. What about women that raise children?
We're not talking about